Today on Investigate TV Plus, bait and switch.
And then all of a sudden, whoever's managing that post swaps it out for something else.
Pictures posted on social media about injured pets or missing children may not be what they seem.
They're not using these pictures for anything good. There's no good outcome that's going to come of it.
We take an in-depth look at a scam preying on your compassion and share the signs a social media post is a sham. Plus,
there's been an incident on the field with Quinn, and we had to call an ambulance. Can you get up here?
But by the time this mother reached her son, it was too late.
I kneeled down by him and put my hand on him. There was nothing.
How she took the pain of losing her son to sudden cardiac arrest and turned it into a life-saving quest.
Then an inspiring story of a young woman who didn't let a devastating crash sideline her dreams.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus.
You may have seen the post on Facebook showing a lost or injured pet or perhaps a missing child.
The pictures are designed to catch the eye and tug at heartstrings and usually include an urgent plea to please bump. I'm Tisha Powell.
And I'm Lee Zurich. This scam has been going on for a while, but it continues to trip people up, especially when it looks like your friends and family members are vouching for them.
Reporter Kristen Crowley takes an in-depth look at a social media scam that preys on your desire to help and shows you how to avoid falling for fake posts.
It's an urgent call for help on Facebook. A Jane Doe in a coma after a hit and run. Bump this post, it says, to help identify her. There's just one problem. That never happened.
No, absolutely not.
We tracked down the woman in the picture. She is not a Jane Doe. Her name is Erin Stevenson.
How long have you been out of the hospital?
Going on 3 years.
And some of these are being posted yesterday.
Actively, yeah.
Erin really was in a coma, but it wasn't a hit and run. The truth? Actually stranger than fiction. Her dog, Sky, accidentally headbutted her, cracking 2 of her back teeth, leading to a freak infection.
Based on the swelling in my face and neck, that they were concerned that my airway would collapse, and so that they were going to put me on a ventilator.
And you were about to go on life support.
Yeah.
Her husband took this picture of her in the hospital that she later shared on social media once she recovered. The whole week Erin was on life support, family always knew where she was. That means this post is fake. But there wasn't just one.
This one was from McHenry, Illinois. This one is out of Kirksville, Pasco County, Citrus County,
Texas.
Abilene, Texas.
Unbelievable.
We found dozens in mere minutes, all with the same picture, the same story, and the same plea to bump this post.
They're not using these pictures for anything good. There's no good outcome that's going to come of it.
It's part of a scam to prey on people's desire to help. But what does this scam accomplish?
And then all of a sudden, whoever's managing that post swaps it out for something else.
The Better Business Bureau national spokesperson, Melanie McGovern, says the goal is to get as much engagement, shares, likes as possible on a post like this before the scammers edit it to something completely different. For example, a rent-to-own deal, complete with a link to click on that could compromise your personal information. It looks less like a scam because of all the likes and shares, sometimes from people you know.
You've got someone you trust sharing something which may lead you to think this is a legitimate purchase, this is a legitimate link.
Absolutely.
Erin's picture isn't the only one being used to try and trick people. Photos of missing children, injured dogs, lost grandparents riddle social media. Experts say they're so common because they are effective. Some of them have hundreds, even thousands of shares. We found examples of people acknowledging they think the post is a scam, but sharing it anyway, not seeing the harm in reposting. Others see it on friends' feeds and share it themselves, contributing to its reach.
And if they see that you shared it, they might think that you're endorsing it or that you are part of it.
It can be hard to identify the scam, in part because when you share a post and the original poster changes it, you don't get any kind of notification.
I want you guys to go on your Facebook page.
Here's an example. We asked some colleagues to share a post we created on Facebook to their page.
That post I shared, what does it say?
Look at my friend's cute dog.
Now watch what happens when we go back and edit our original post.
What? So it changed entirely.
Is there anything on your Facebook pages that indicates that post you initially shared has been edited?
No.
No, not at all.
That's scary.
We reached out to Meta, Facebook's parent company, for comment on this scam and the fact that Facebook does not indicate when a post has been edited. It didn't respond, but we did sit down with a member of its Meta Oversight Board, Michael McConnell.
Currently, there is no reliable way to identify all manipulations on a mass basis.
He says the board makes recommendations to Meta on its policies, for example, advising the removal of COVID misinformation. But Meta does not have to take the recommendations. We asked if the board would recommend an edit button.
There's nothing on the screen saying it's been edited. I'm curious if an edit button, just something that simple, would be something Facebook might consider.
They are making a number of changes to their policy on this very issue, in which they are trying to provide labels.
This is one example of that. Meta blurring certain pictures it's flagged as fake. But despite the countless posts of Erin's picture, that hasn't happened yet to hers.
You get to some of them that have 303 shares, 58 shares.
Almost 500. Unbelievable. I think the onus is on them to do that and a lot more. I mean, people have every right to know when things have been edited, when things are taken out of context.
She hopes the reach of this story overtakes the fake posts about her real ordeal.
I'm here to take my power back, that those are my pictures. This is my story.
So what are the red flags you should look out for with this scam? Well, we noticed the scammers turn off the comments on posts like these once they've made the edit. There's also often the same picture posted twice, and the information is generic, with no contact information for specific police departments or government agencies. The Better Business Bureau says the scammers often put these fake posts in community groups. So instead, look for posts from legitimate accounts like police departments and city governments. And if you think it's suspicious, do not share it.
Still to come, a real-world lesson.
Showing them what that path looks like, showing them what the opportunities are available.
We explore how a high school club connects students with hands-on experience in the healthcare industry.
But first, a mother's loss compelled her to go on a mission. How she took her grief and channeled it into change. The American Heart Association says access to an automatic defibrillator, or AED, improves chances for survival when a heart stops.
However, our investigation found the one thing that can shock a student back to life is optional in many states. As of February 2025, fewer than half of states have legislation mandating AEDs in all schools, while nearly 35 million students attend schools in states with no legislative requirements.
In Washington state, a mother has made it her mission to honor her late son by making sure no other parent experiences what she went through.
Reporter Mia Villanueva shows us how she took her grief and turned it into life-saving work.
We got a call and they said, there's been an incident on the field with Quinn and we had to call an ambulance. Can you get up here?
In June of 2009, Kelly Driscoll and her late husband, Scott, rushed to Wy'east Middle School in Vancouver after receiving a call that her 13-year-old son, Quinn, collapsed on the track.
I kneeled down by him and put my hand on him. There was nothing.
He was transported to a hospital where efforts to resuscitate him continued, but Quinn did not survive. His cause of death was ruled as a sudden cardiac arrest, caused by a condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. a condition Kelly did not know her healthy, active 13-year-old son had.
Right then and there, I think we knew we had to do something.
When Quinn collapsed, Kelly says an AED, or automated external defibrillator, was on campus, but didn't make it out to the field before the ambulance got there. Kelly soon learned that many schools were entirely without the life-saving device.
A lot of schools didn't even have AEDs, and they didn't have plans in place of retrieving them when a medical emergency was called.
That was the founding moment of the Quinn Driscoll Foundation. One of its missions, providing grants for outfitting schools with AEDs. One of the schools that received a donation from the Quinn Driscoll Foundation was Evergreen High School. In 2013, nearly 4 years after Quinn died, and 2 days before Valentine's Day, that donation saved Heidi Stewart's life.
The AED was brought by the school nurse on site, Nurse Debbie, and she was able to bring it within 2 minutes of me collapsing.
That AED revived Heidi 3 times before she was transported to Peace Health Southwest Washington Medical Center, where she was diagnosed with a rare hereditary heart condition. It's also where she met Kelly Driscoll, Quinn's mom, and the woman who arguably saved her life. To date, Kelly says they've donated over $100,000 toward equipping schools with AEDs. In fact, the Evergreen School District has equipped all of its schools with AEDs, above and beyond Washington State's standard that only requires AEDs on high school campuses. For Heidi, one bittersweet truth is never lost on her. Had Quinn not died, she may not be here today.
When I heard about who it was that essentially saved my life, because he lost his and his family chose to do something so unbelievable and so kind, it's overwhelming. What do you do with that gratitude?
What Heidi did and continues to do is give back. She works for the American Heart Association, advocating for people, especially women, to be aware and take control of their heart health. And at the heart of her mission, Quinn. A boy she never met, whose short life continues to have a profound impact on hers. As fate would have it, Heidi is now engaged to Quinn's best friend, Jacob.
We have a guardian angel up there who's maybe playing puppeteer a little bit or talking to God.
Quinn would be thrilled.
Another sign perhaps that Quinn is still around. Forever 13, but forever loved.
We just knew that there was a purpose for Quinn's life, and unfortunately it wasn't as long as we had wanted it to be, but he brought something positive from his passing.
On December 26, 2024, President Joe Biden signed the Bipartisan HEARTS Act into law. The HEARTS Act mandates schools develop and implement a plan to respond to cardiac emergencies, ensures students and staff are trained in CPR and the use of AEDs, and provides grants in aid to schools in acquiring AEDs. In Portland, Oregon, I'm Mia Villanueva.
A horrific crash changed a teenager's life, but her family and love of volleyball inspired her to never give up on her dream.
Good, Kara. Yes.
Still to come, why she says she chooses to look ahead instead of dwelling on the past.
But first, a prescription for the future.
This whole experience has really ignited me to be passionate about the medicine field.
How a student-led initiative provides career direction and a solution to a looming healthcare crisis. When you were in high school, did you have any idea about your future career? When did you figure out this is what you wanted to do?
Actually, late in high school, like around junior, senior year, I worked on the school newspaper and I knew journalism was my
hooked?
thing, yes.
I was like 15 years old. I knew exactly. Rare, I guess both of us, right?
Yeah, so
Fair enough.
it played out well.
It did play out well.
Well, if you were like most students today, probably not. A recent survey suggests as many as 50% of high school students are undecided about their career choice. The same survey also found social norms, financial stability, and the fear of making the wrong decision are factors in their uncertainty.
But in Nevada, a high school club provides students with career direction while addressing a critical shortage in healthcare professionals. These young faces may just be your doctor or nurse in, say, 10 years or so. They're Green Valley High School students, members of the school's medical society. 30 students at this one school that spend afternoons taking field trips to local hospitals, meeting face-to-face with healthcare professionals. On this day, it was to a respiratory lab at the College of Southern Nevada.
Okay, Mr. Smith, I'm going to have you cough for me, and when you cough, I'm going to go ahead and pull this out.
It was senior Brianna Shaw's idea to put together a group of like-minded students to get this kind of real-world exposure.
I get to see what it's like, talk to doctors, so this whole experience has really ignited me to be passionate about the medicine field.
Several schools in the area have medical societies. They are student-led, but industry-supported. And these two men, Diego Trujillo and Colton Villa, are their biggest advocates. They are the CEO and chairman, respectively, of Las Vegas Heals. It's a coalition of medical professionals with the goal of improving access to health care. For them, that means growing the next generation healthcare professionals and keeping them in Nevada.
There are really just a lot of retirement coming up, and so the pipeline in is crucial to us making sure that we can serve the community as we grow.
Just to reach the national average, Nevada would need 255 more doctors, 626 nurse practitioners, and over 3,000 registered nurses, and more than 13,000 hospital workers and residential care center nurses. Villa and Trujillo believe showing the students a way forward into medicine will help.
Showing them what that path looks like, showing them what the opportunities are available, what the education looks like, who's going to be able to pay for your education and train you, and what the job opportunities look like, because it can be very, very cloudy, and we're just trying to connect the dots to make it easier for them.
They took on this mission after witnessing the struggles of older family members trying to get medical care. Las Vegas Heals organizes these field trips and connects students with mentors, including college students, professors, doctors, and nurses. They say it doesn't take long for the high school students to jump in.
They start to ask questions and engage with the students and the staff that's here. We really saw them open up.
They're motivated because they begin to see themselves in those roles. And that's very important for us, is that they don't think that someone somewhere went to medical school and then came here, but that students could have gone through the CCSD system, could have gone to school here in Las Vegas, and can now serve the community in Las Vegas as a physician or another type of provider.
And Brianna has her healthcare journey mapped out. It ends in Nevada. She hopes other students will follow her.
I want these kids to know you don't have to have a 4.0. If you don't know what you want to do, but you want to be in healthcare, let me help you find your place and kind of guide you along.
Up next, a young woman who faced a life-altering challenge found inspiration in the sport she loves. Why she decided a game changer didn't have to mean game over.
At the age of 17, Janae Edmondson was a star high school volleyball player and had earned a scholarship to play for a Tennessee college.
But her bright future took a heart-wrenching turn one night when she was hit by a car. Reporter Marissa Sulik takes us through her recovery and shows us how her determination inspires her family and teammates.
Go. For someone who thought she would always play on the court.
Good, Kara. Yes.
Sitting on the sidelines was never in the playbook. But Janae Edmondson decided a game changer did not have to mean game over. Hours after playing this volleyball tournament in St. Louis, Janae was hit by a car and pinned to the ground, in a chain reaction caused by another driver who blew a yield sign. Her parents, Francine and James Edmondson, were right there.
I will never unsee that.
Janae lost parts of both her legs. She also crushed her pelvis, kidneys, liver, spleen, and the aorta in her heart was pinched. She would undergo 29 surgeries and decided to not play volleyball in college. But she didn't lose her spot on a team.
During games, I keep stats, and practice, I usually toss balls and just make sure ball carts are filled and everything like that.
Janae is one of the managers for the women's volleyball team at Middle Tennessee State University. It allows her to look ahead and not harp on the accident she doesn't like to talk about.
How has life been since that happened?
It's been great. It's been great, yeah. Just very peaceful, calm.
2 words I wouldn't expect someone who has gone through what you've gone through to say.
After the criminal case, I think a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Jayla, get that ball.
Janae isn't alone at MTSU. Her older sister Jayla transferred after Janae's crash and is a manager alongside her.
I know very few people her age that are as selfless as she is. This is a human, and it's cool to see.
Assistant coach Jenna Orner says having Jayla around motivates Janae.
And right now she's over here laughing and making fun of people and giving it right back, and that's just who Janae is, and it's awesome.
Bringing forward, good.
What's also awesome, only 5 months after the crash, Janae started walking on prosthetics, which she now uses on a daily basis. While she makes it look easy, like any new pair of shoes, they take time to break in.
I didn't want to be in a chair at all. I was like, I want to get up and moving, but getting used to them, it's a challenge, I'd say, because you get like blisters, open sores, and things like that.
She can stand and volley back and forth with Jayla, but the prosthetics throw her off balance at times. That's why at practice, she finds a way to make the chair work for her. Janae could have said no to volleyball. Her parents realized that.
It's been great for her because to give up something that you love is hard.
But she has found a way to grow right where she's seated.
Yes. And that's it for us on Investigate TV Plus. I'm Tisha Powell.
And I'm Lee Zurich. Thanks for watching.
On the next Investigate TV Plus, a new threat contributes to the stress of travel.
I have seen multiple vehicles that would be appealing.
Parking lot car thefts are on the rise at airports across the country. We go in depth with a former car thief to show you the steps that you can take to make sure your vehicle doesn't become a target.